This is an AI-generated podcast based on the article Faith Calibrates Our Drive, how Tonya Detweiler is building an intergenerational community at Redefines Aging, written by Judi Bontreger. The article link is in the show notes. Hey everyone, welcome back to Kingdom Factor Collective. I'm Judi Bontreger, and today I'm sitting down with Tonya Detweiler, CEO of Blue Diamond Communities. Tonya, you're building something really ambitious in Goshen, a 170-acre intergenerational community called Cherry Creek. But what's fascinating to me is this vision started when you were 14 years old working in a nursing home. Can you take me back to that moment? What did you see that stuck with you all these years?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was working as an activities assistant in Elkhart, and I loved it. I loved being with the residents, the connection, but even then, something felt off. These places felt like institutions, not homes, and I just tucked that away. I carried it for years, and it never let go of me. It was like this quiet conviction that there had to be a better way.
That's interesting, because you didn't just think about it, you actually acted on it. You helped launch 4 greenhouse nursing homes before Cherry Creek even came into the picture. What made you finally pursue that teenage conviction?
Well, it took time, right? I raised my kids, worked in other fields, but eventually I couldn't ignore it anymore. I helped launch those greenhouse homes, small-scale, home-like environments inspired by Dr. Bill Thomas's model. We built 52 residential homes around them. It was exhausting, rewarding, and then COVID hit. Our model actually kept residents safe when most facilities were struggling. That attracted a buyer, and I sold. And honestly, I needed to sleep.
You took a whole year off after that, right? I mean, that's not something most entrepreneurs do easily. What was that season like for you?
I slept, I read, and I asked God what was next. That's really what it was. I was visiting my daughter in Germany in the summer of 2022, and the mayor's office called. They had land, they wanted housing, something different, and they asked if I'd consider it. And I said yes. Not because I needed another project, but because the call felt familiar, like the one I'd been carrying since I was 14. That's powerful.
You've talked about how faith calibrates your drive, and I want to unpack that because I think a lot of leaders struggle with pace. You said most of us don't lack drive, we lack calibration. Can you explain what you mean by that?
Yeah, exactly. I don't lack ambition. Most leaders don't. The problem isn't drive, it's the pace at which we burn through it. When I integrate my faith in business, it's always calibrating my pace, my drive. We have intuition, we want to make a difference, but when we pay attention to what God wants and when God wants it to happen, that's when real transformation happens. When I force my own timeline, projects slow down. When I surrender to God's timing, momentum builds. Not always quickly, but sustainably. Does that make sense?
It does. And right now, you're in the grind, right? You broke ground in 2024, but all of 2025 has been underground utilities and zoning. That's not the glamorous part. How do you stay focused when the work doesn't feel inspiring?
That's a great question. I think it's because I know it's necessary. Fire hydrants, utilities, it's the invisible infrastructure that makes visionary work possible. It's not what I love, but it's what has to happen. And in a few weeks, the first walls go up. The Child Care Center, a partnership with Goshen College, will add 75 new spots for kids. Young families will walk their toddlers to care, then head for work. Seniors can volunteer, lead fitness classes, or just enjoy the energy. That's what keeps me going.
You're a grandmother now, and you've said spending time with your 2-year-old granddaughter makes you feel young again. I'm curious, how does that personal experience shape what you're building at Cherry Creek?
Oh, it shapes everything. I have 5 kids, ages 20 to 33. My middle son lives in Goshen with his wife and their 2 daughters, and when I spend time with my 2-year-old granddaughter, I become young again. I feel energized. Equally, when I spend time with my parents, I talk about things that relate to them. Both are important. But if we could incorporate that into a neighborhood where community is part of what it means to live there, that's Cherry Creek. Homes are private because everyone needs space, but the clubhouse, pool, fitness classes, restaurants, concerts, those create natural gathering points. Clubs will form based on what residents want. The programming adapts to the people.
You've also said that one of the biggest challenges you see in business is bringing people together. Cherry Creek required federal legislators, local government, utility companies, contractors, a small army of partners. How do you keep everyone aligned?
It's hard, honestly. One of the biggest challenges is reminding us what we're all for. It can very easily become protecting our own interests. But when we can get a group of people together and say, out of all those experiences, what are we for? What do we share in common? When that happens, I see limitless possibilities. And I have to give credit to my business partner, Daryl. He's a retired RV owner who's quietly invested in countless people and organizations across the community. He provides funding, I do the work. We've built 4 nursing homes, 52 homes, and now Cherry Creek. It's a partnership rooted in mentorship, faith, and a shared belief that business can be a force for transformation.
That's beautiful. So before we wrap up, I have to ask, what are you most proud of? Is it Cherry Creek, the greenhouse homes?
My marriage, hands down. We've grown together over the years. We've had to navigate my drive, his steadiness, my pivots, his patience, but we've done it together, and that's the thing I'm most proud of. Not the projects, but the person I get to build with. The most important thing I'm building isn't on 170 acres in Goshen. It's at home.
Wow, that's really grounding. Tonya, thank you so much for sharing your story today. Cherry Creek is going to bring 2,000 to 4,000 new residents to Goshen, redefine aging, and create a community where every season of life is honored. I can't wait to see what unfolds. For everyone listening, links to the article and more info are in the show notes. Thanks for tuning in to Kingdom Factor Collective.